Hi everyone! So I was just waiting for Nuneka to finish her hop and I was kind of, I forgot about the time. So I was actually happy that she was running a little bit. So I was running up and down the stairs. You know the feeling where you know, oh no, I forgot about my kitchen paper. Oh no, I forgot about this, I forgot about that. So I was running up and down like 2 levels of stairs. And I was like so out of breath. I was really happy that Nuneka was a little bit late. So, and now I actually forgot about my iPad. So, oh well, that's going to be fun, I guess. I'm going to run up and down the stairs one more time and then I'm back. So enjoy, chat a little with each other, and I'm back within like 30 seconds. So I'm back, hi. Whoa, those stairs are killing me. Woo. I was coming downstairs like, no, I'm live already, but I forgot my iPad. So that was fun. But I'm here. So let me get my own channel. I'm really glad I have a quite okay, how do you call it? I'm quite fit. I'm happy with that. So let's see if I can get this video on. Thanks for being here, everybody. It's so good that you all are here. So I was thinking, let me see if I can put this, yeah. So I was thinking about doing a remake of a video that I uploaded a few weeks ago, I guess. And which was really popular because a lot of you said you guys really like this one. So, well, I thought let's recreate it, but I kind of felt bored by the idea that I was going to recreate it exactly as it is. So I'm going to do a blue one, but although it looked quite fancy, I think it's really easy to create. So I want to show you guys, and maybe you can create something along with me, or maybe create it after the hop. And I love to see your creations if they are inspired by this one. And make sure to tag me in your social media posts as well. So I'm still catching my breath, but okay. So you guys must think that there's something wrong with me because I'm like catching my breath. Well, so I'm working on, I'm planning on cutting the edges and then glue it into my finnabair journal, which I think is really great. But although I really love this paper, I really like the effect of putting, gluing in a piece of, a different piece of paper. So that's why I'm not using the paper, but it is really good. So you could easily use this one. So I'm using some Arteza watercolor paper. Let's get this a bit in front of me. This is better. And I really love this paper because it has this really great tooth. Let me show you guys. So it's really, you can use it for all kind of projects. So this is going to be one of those days where I just can't think of English words for stuff. So I'm already apologizing for all the rambling. So let me rip one out. And I wanted to work with, well, actually a set of different mediums. I need to check what you guys are writing too. There was just no way to let the layers dry, but I'm really curious how Nuneka did that herself then. So I'm using a piece of finnabair tissue wrap. So the reason that I use this is, yeah, I'm practicing with painting a lot, but I can't really draw that good. So that's why I'm using a piece of tissue wrap as a base layer, so to speak, on which I can draw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this wet for a bit, just with some drops of clean water. So I set everything around me, so I had everything ready, but now my table is really full. I'm kind of juggling with all the stuff laying here. Let me get this out of the way. So I don't want to forget anything to use that I used in the original piece. So I'm always afraid that I forget stuff. So that's the reason why everything is ready here. But now the table is really full. So what I'm going to do is just use some clean water just to make it wet around the edges. And this way I don't have to cut it. I just have to rip it. And not only is that easier to do, it's also better because now I don't get these really, well, cutted edges. So because it's wet, it's really easy to tear it around the edge. And this actually works with all kind of tissue paper and rice paper as well. Ah, thank you, Mary. So the fun thing was that Nuneka asked me if there was a reason that I hadn't put on Super Chat, and I actually didn't know about Super Chat. So I was like, no, I didn't really know about it. What is it? So she explained it to me, and I was like, oh, but I can do that. So yeah, I felt a little bit naive not knowing about Super Chats or whatever. But I'm really, really glad that I found out about it. And it's really nice that you guys are really helping us, especially around this time. It's a little bit tough for the artists because we can't really do what we're used to do. So this edge wasn't as nice as it was, so I did cut it a little. And now I'm going to use another flower. Let me see what I used before. I always say don't ever use stuff in even numbers, but I did, to be honest, in the original piece. So I'm going to do that anyway now, although I don't necessarily promote to use these numbers. But I'm going to use 2 flowers. Thanks, Tiffany. I really, really like the idea of the Super Chat thing. It's so cool. I still don't know exactly what it is. And I work in IT, so I kind of feel embarrassed I didn't know about it. But it's really cool. And I love the fact that we are all connecting just from all over the world in a way that is creative and is like really, really positive, and everybody is so encouraging for each other. I really, really love that. So that's really cool. Thank you, guys. So I'm also using this one. Let me get this piece wet. So just another question. How many of you guys actually let their nails done usually? Because I do, but now the nail artists, of course, the nail studios are closed. So I fixed mine, as you can see. So I went a little crazy with some glitter just to cover up the outgrown piece of nail. I thought it was fun. It was actually creative in a whole different way. So that actually was something that I needed to show you guys, because I didn't want to I didn't want you guys to think, wow, look at her nails. Why are her nails so ugly? Yes, art is definitely medicine, Penny. I so agree with you. It's just a way to forget about things and just to really enjoy something. And I think that creating is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. Just because it's so rewarding to create something just from nothing to something. And I can be really happy with myself when I create something, even if it's not my best piece or anything, because that doesn't really matter. And it's so rewarding just to sit down, have some nice music on, and just relax a bit. And I really like the crafting community as well. Yeah, Barbara, I know. So I got my, I have a shaven head. That sounds really weird, but I have a side shave. I think it's called that. So I always shave it myself, and I go to the hairdresser. Oh my, I'm doing this in the wrong order. Oh well, let's keep it this way. I forgot about my pieces of out of my book. But so now everybody's like, how do you do your hair now? And I'm like, I'm shaving it myself. I always did that. And they're like, oh no, did you do that yourself? Yes, I did. They're like really surprised that I do it myself. Okay, so here's what I did. This is a Dutch book, obviously, that I bought at a thrift shop. I think it's a thrift shop, like the secondhand shop where you get the old used stuff. So I bought this book, which is really cool because it's about birds, and I'm a really nerdy bird fan. So it's really cool, and it's a book I did check from what time it was, but because there wasn't any date stamp in there, but I thought it was like from the 1920s or something. So it's really cool. And what I do, I just rip out, that sounds really bad, but I rip out some pages because they are really, really, really cool to use in your art journal. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Oh yeah, oh, it's gonna be so bad, all the messy hair. But I do like the fact that I don't have to wash my hair every day now, because nobody really cares if it's like greasy or something, so I can easily just let it be. And I really like that. So this was a coincidence, but it is in the same shape, so this is going to work just as it needs to. Oh, really? That's strange. Well, I'm a totally noob in this, so maybe one of the other girls can help out. I'm not sure. So I saw this idea like years ago with somebody else's work, and I think a lot of you guys do this. Help out with super Sharon. So look at a piece that is using like the pages and it is in your own. So this is going to be fun for my Dutch creative souls. But I do feel a bit bad that I'm ripping these pages. So the pink is actually there because of shoot some Lindy's magical pigment that is in my jar. I'm back, guys. So I think this is a YouTube thing. I'm sorry. I switched to our Wi-Fi network now, so I hope it's better now, but I hope so, guys. I'm sorry. It's really painful because now I get myself like in a really clear image and I know within seconds it's going to be awful again, but I'm sorry, guys. I'm glad you're all okay still. I'm just going to glue on. Yes, but I hope it stays this way because now I switched to Wi-Fi and my Wi-Fi last week wasn't that good either. Although I'm thinking it might actually have been YouTube. It was exactly around the same time in my video. But maybe that's just a coincidence. I'm using way more pages than I wanted, but I just like the color of the pages. So I actually wanted to get these pieces of my book on here first, but it's okay. This is going to work as well. So I'm using soft gloss gel, which I really like because it's, like the name says, is soft gloss. But you can use whatever medium you like. You could also use maybe something like Mod Podge or something like that. It does feel good that like everybody is panicking because I'm gone. So that felt quite good. So I'm glad you're all back. Well, actually I'm back, but so if you want to help us out, just give me a thumbs up, please, if you're enjoying my rather chaotic video. And if you want to share the video, that would be awesome as well, because that way even more people get to know about these hops, which is a lot of fun. And we all get to meet new people. So if you'd like to share this, please do. And thanks for all the thumbs up, guys. You know, the thumbs thing is like really bad because, well, the YouTubers that are in the chat right now, I think they can really relate to this, that all the thumbs up are like really rewarding and you feel good about it, but whenever you get one thumbs down, it's like, well, it's a rain on my parade kind of thing. So I had a thumbs down last week on the YouTube stream and I was like, no, who is giving me thumbs down? And I forgot about all these thumbs up. So I actually have this like love-hate relationship with the thumbs on YouTube. But I guess a lot of you can relate. So now I'm going to add a quick layer of clear gesso, just to make sure that, because it's like, hey Mariah, that's my friend who is always also botting some of my streams. But I'm glad she didn't forget about the stream, because the last couple of streams she forgot. So the reason that I'm using clear gesso is to make sure that when I go in with a lot of water or paints or whatever, I don't want it to get saturated with my inks and my colors. And especially because these pages are like really, really old, the paper gets a bit vulnerable. Yeah, Karen, I know. I once did a thumb down because I saw a really awful video of two dogs fighting. And that was the only thing that I thought, you deserve a thumbs down, mister. But that was the only thing. Yeah, Angela, I totally agree. But they do hurt a little, to be honest. But yeah. This is I'm a person too, you know. I actually like the effect of one on top of the pages and the other one on top of my paper. Yeah, I wish I could say that, Karen. But yeah. Yeah, that's true, Nunika. The amount of thumbs up that we get and the amount of comments that we get on a video actually contribute by how many people get to see these videos in their search results. So it would be really, really great if you guys can take a little time to put a thumbs up there. I actually feel like I'm almost begging you guys, so I don't want to come across like begging, but well, you'll understand, I guess. Thanks, Karen. Thank you, Angela. Well, I think most of us artsy kind of creative people are maybe a bit more vulnerable than like the not creative people. Thanks, Alexandra. That is so cool. Thank you. So I think we are maybe because we are a bit more vulnerable. That is because we like to create art, because it's such a you can really get everything out when creating art. So I think that is the reason why we create art, but it's also the reason that like the negative comments can hurt a little, because I'm quite sensitive to what other people think of what I create. So I know I always come across like somebody that really doesn't care, but I do. Yes, it's like you're putting your heart out there with everything that you create. That is really, really true. Yes, it's like showing like my full self here. Even with this, even with the live stream, I really love to do live stream, but it really makes you feel quite vulnerable. But it's also a really good thing to practice, because it does make you feel really good. So I always get like a lot of energy when doing, especially doing live streams or classes, or it's so much fun to see people get inspired by the things that I do, because I felt so inspired by others, and I think it's really cool that I can do this thing, well, sort of back for the community. I really like that. Okay, so this is the first part. And now, I can't remember what I did first, but I think I first colored my flowers. So I'm going to use a darker shade of blue. And I'm actually adding this one later on the rest of the page. But I really want the flowers to stand out. And I'm also, where's my gouache? I'm also using gouache. So for you guys that don't necessarily are really into like the acrylic, the watercolor mediums and everything. So gouache is actually I need to figure out what color I think this one. A water-based paint, but different from watercolor, because watercolor is like really soluble. with water. I think that's the right term. And gouache is more opaque. So these are gouache colors, but they are actually metallic colors. So this one is pearl aqua blue, and this one is emerald. So I need to experiment with what color I think suits the rest of the colors best, but I probably think it's going to be this one. Yes, I do like them a lot. So if you ever want to order at Arteza, please let me know, because I do have discount codes for you guys. So let me know. That would be a pity if you order over there and don't use any coupons. This is it, and I'm going to get myself a brush. So I need to have a brush that is a little bit better. And I'm just going to color this in. I'm going to dilute it a little bit with water, because otherwise it would be too opaque. But I really love this color. It's like metallic. And then together with the like the opaque color of the acrylic impasto paint, I really like the combination of those two. So this is an opaque one too, and I don't want to necessarily get rid of all tissue paper, so I'm just diluting it until a consistency that works well. Thanks, Finn. I think I can only imagine how great it is that you actually get to see people using your products. I think that is so cool. I would be thrilled. And they are using it like everywhere around the world. So that is so cool. This color is like definitely my favorite. So I'm just adding a little bit of the impasto, and I'm actually going to rub away some of the paint because I really want those flowers to show through my paint. So I'm just using a wet baby towel to clean off some of the paint. Guys, you are already watching with 85 people. That's insane. That is so cool. I love the fact that you guys all just take the time and the how do you call it, the effort to watch these hops. This is really cool. This is what we do it for. Not only to interact with you guys, but I think it's great that you guys interact with each other. Haha, great. Mary, I'm glad to hear this. Well, and this is the thing, we just, it's like paying it forward or something. I started watching like, for instance, Tiffany and Finnabair, and I was like, I want to do that someday. So I started practicing and started to kind of develop my own style, I hope. And then I'm just doing the same thing that I loved about their videos and their passion for art and everything, and now I'd like to, well, pay it forward in some way. So it's really cool that we get to do that. For how long I did my art, or I think that's the question. So I think the question is for how long I'm doing art, but I actually have been doing creative art for practically my whole life. But then I got a bit older and I kind of forgot about it when I was 16, 17, 18. And then as a kid, I was really, really creative of doing creative stuff. And then when I got about around 22 or something, we moved into this little tiny vacation kind of bungalow for just a half year, but we only had internet on one computer. So, and my Nicky plays poker, so he needed a computer with the internet. So I needed a hobby. So I went to like this local craft store and I was like, ma'am, I need a hobby. And she was like, oh, really? Well, I got a lot that you can choose from. And then she showed me like the 3D cards and I was like, I can do that. So I actually started doing 3D cards when I was about 22, 23. And then I quite fast switched to stamped cards. And I've been creating stamped cards for quite a while. So I've done the little Lily of the Valley and the Magnolia and all the Gucci Gucci girly stuff, which I really loved. And then I switched to mixed media. So, and I always tell people it was like down the rabbit hole and never look back again. So, yeah. So, I know you guys are thinking, this is never going to get finished in an hour. Yes, it will. This is so easy. Okay, so now I'm going to add some of my favorite lindies. But I need to search for a color that is suited with this. So let me get my colors. Thanks, girls. You are really amazing. Thank you. So let's see. Oh, I like this one, but it's a bit too greenish. So I always make these cards just to well, it's easy to pick out colors if you're in need of a color when you're working on a project. It's easier to have them in a ring like this. So I'm going to use Shabby Turbine Teal, which is, I think, really lovely. And also the Time Travel Teal, because that one is a bit darker. Let me see. So I did this studio tour last time on the finnabair group, and then people were kind of upset by the way that I have my magicals stored, so I went in there and cleaned them. So I think Nuneka is going to be very proud. Thanks for your support, girls. I really, really, really like this. I say girls, but maybe there are guys there either, so. Okay, what shall I do first? Do some texture first or do the coloring? I'm going to do the texture first, yes. So I have some icing paste here. But you will. It's just, you need to get started and then just figure out that it's going to work for you and you'll do fine. Yes, Laura. Well, actually, I because of the whole Corona thing, I'm talking a lot more to people. Well, with video chat, and at first I really couldn't do anything when I was video chatting because of the concentration and the focus that I didn't have. But I kind of get used to it now, and now it's okay. I can create while video chatting, and that is something that I really like because it's just, well, you feel a bit more connected to people when you're video chatting. So I actually discovered video chatting with my parents as well. And it's so funny because yesterday I was talking to them and they were like, oh, look at what the dog is doing. And I'm like, yeah, guys, I can't really see that when you don't like put your phone in front of the dog. So there's a whole new world there. Okay, so this is a stencil. I'm going to show you which one. It's not really a surprise. Look at this. Oh no, it's finnabair. Yeah, I'm really loving these products. So I'm actually an ambassador for finnabair, but you might have guessed that already. Yes, it's really, it's you need to get used to the whole talking to yourself thing. And well, to be honest, I always talk to myself, so it really wasn't that difficult. But it's just the thing that you need to respond as well, you know. So I'm creating and I need to respond to you guys as well. So I tend to forget the responding thing, but now I'm standing up so I can look at my phone while I'm creating, and that's a bit easier. So I see the when you guys say something, I see it in my eye or something. No, Belinda, well, that's the reason, that's exactly why I'm rambling. I'm creating and I can't think at the same time. Just so everything that is coming out now is just, it's just like blah. Yes, Penny. I think Anna was the first one that my boyfriend actually knew. He was like, "Oh, is that Anna?" It's from the last collection. So the newest one, the newest release, that was this one. So it came along with these two as well, and some other really pretty stencils as well. And I'm using, just so you guys know what color I'm using, Frosty Pearl icing paste. Doesn't this look good? I love the blue and the pearly. It just, wow. It really, really looks cool. Yes, Finn. You're also really famous in the households because of all the lives and all the stuff. They're like, oh no, it's her fault. She's the reason why my wife never comes downstairs and watches TV with me. Oh no, I'm just kidding. So now I'm going to add color. So it's a bit brownish and I don't necessarily like this color. So what I am going to do, oh no, did I switch these? Yes, I did. I'm going to add some color. And maybe most of you know Lindy's Magicals, but I'm going to explain a little about them. These are actually powdered pigments. And the fun thing is that you can apply them like as if they were watercolors. So adding water to them and paint with them. But you could also apply them directly onto your paper and then make them wet. So I'm going to show you both of the ways to apply these. I'm first going to just make them wet, dilute them, just mix them. So when you mix these, they become like a one solid color with a mica, obviously. But if you don't mix them, you apply them directly to the paper and you make the paper wet, you'll get to see all the pigments that these are built from. So that is really, really cool to see. You guys are with so many. How is this even possible? Thanks, guys. This is really cool. It really feels good that all of you are watching this. And please stay here. Keep watching the hub because we all live in different time zones, and I know my European friends as well as myself need to get to bed in a couple of hours. But please, for the rest of you, please stay if you can. And yes, please like this stream. Thanks. That would be awesome. And your support is much, much, much appreciated. So it's really messy what I'm doing. Well, I hadn't really had a chance to watch the other streams because I was a little bit busy today. But it's really cool to see that that a lot of my favorite products are being used that much, because these are just my favorite to go to. So feels good that other people use them too. And it's just cool to show you guys how you can use them. Because I really love them. Laura, you're like a night owl, so you don't have to sleep. It's like a marathon. Maybe we should do a marathon and then just get the rules and then just use the rules that we can't sleep. Ah, these colors are amazing. Look at this. I like this so much, but I need to get rid of some of the color because it's a little bit too dark and it's all running over these flowers, so you can't really see the flowers anymore. So I need to fix this, but I really like the colors. So the way that my water or my ink is reacting to the icing paste is really, really cool. I love that. Yeah, I'm going to save the flowers, no worries. I'm going to save them. There is nothing better for us than baby cloth or baby wipe. I'm not sure how to call them, but I'm going to save them. Of course, I'm going to save them. So now I need to really get this dried before I go to apply anything else. So I need to do that first. So this is what happens when you don't use enough of the clear gesso. So this would be a happy accident if you ask me. Well, maybe not so happy because it's a little bit too dark, but let's see how we can fix this. But look at the shine of this. I really, really love it. Just another baby wipe because it's too wet. I was going a little bit too crazy with all the water. So the fun thing is, if you have overdone like colors, when you're working on a page like this one, you could easily get some details there using a crayon or maybe a pencil or some black paint even. So just to get that flower more accentuated, yeah, well, that it's like an accent on your page. Yep, ik was iets te fanatiek, ja. No, you don't necessarily have to do that, Belinda. It's okay. You can get the dishes later. Ja, ik had al zo'n vermoeden, Janneke. Ik denk, Nederland, dat moet hetzelfde zijn. So that was a little bit Dutch. Just a little bit Dutch going through there. Okay, so I need to sit down because my feet are hurting me now. I'm going to use maybe a crayon. Let's see if blue is going to work. Look at my fingers. This is funny. It's inky fingers. So I'm just going to do a little outline of these flowers just to make sure you don't miss them when you look at the page. And this is why I use tissue paper. I don't have to necessarily be good at drawing if I'm doing it like this. So that's exactly the reason why I'm using tissue paper. Yes, Alexandra, it was so crazy. I was sitting downstairs and I was working on a computer and I was like, oh no, I still have 5 minutes. But that's the story of my life, so I'm used to that. So I'm just using the flowers to kind of have a drawing kind of type journal. But this is so good when you're not really feel comfortable drawing, or maybe just aren't that good at it. You can learn. I'm pretty sure you can learn it. But if you just don't feel that comfortable, look at this. It's like I've drawn it myself. I'm an imposter. Yeah, I really like this technique. It's so cool. And I know we just can't be good at everything, you know. So it's not necessarily like a given fact that if you like to paint, for instance, you also really love to draw or something. So, well, this is a way that you can just prevent yourself from needing to draw. I really like this. Now I'm going to finish my page with some just finishing touches. So what I like to do is stamp around a bit. So I'm going to use some of my older AB Studio stamps. I'm not sure if Aga is watching, but she has this amazing brand of stamps, which is really cool. Maybe even that one. And I'm going to do this with my black ink. Thanks, Gabby. Gabby. So what I'm doing is I get some ink on there, but I rub it off on my table. It's a glass table. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I don't want to use the ink like really dark black. I want it to be a little faded, but because I've used quite a lot of water on here, I need to use a what's it called, a permanent ink, or well, this is a permanent waterproof ink. So I need to use that, but they tend to be really pigmented and really like harsh black. So that's the reason why I just put some ink on there. Well, get off a bit on the table and then just stamp. Oh, that's I wanted to answer in Dutch. That's funny. Van Schoonhoven. That's really typical Dutch. Even with the SCH tone, like that's really typical Dutch. So it's not really getting there the way I want. But I like the whole splatter kind of effect. It's cool. Yes, this is one of the best stamps. It is like I've really abused this one, but it's one of my favorites. So I'm also going to add some of the splatters because that's just perfect for this page. And I'm also going to add these little circles. Yeah, but I can imagine because Van Schoonhoven would be a really difficult name in English. So I can imagine why it's like shortened. Okay, I like how this is turning out, guys. It's so fun when you recreate your own projects or your own creations because it always turns out to be different from what you've made before. And that's the fun thing. So that way you can inspire yourself. Thanks, guys. I'm so happy that you're all joined. Let me get some black gesso. So I might be running a bit late, but I'm trying to run in now. How do you call it? That you like. I want to end the stream at 9 exactly, so we're back on track with the schedule. But I'm not sure if I manage and if I'm going to make that, but I'll do my very best. So I'm just using some black gesso. I'm going to dilute it a bit because it's easier to create splatters. And I know when I'm going to create splatters, the way I'm going to do this, they're all gonna be all over me, including my glasses. But that's okay. We'll do it anyway. So the thing is, if you're using a brush, you need to get something that is like really stiff, because if you're using your finger, these will create not as pretty splashes. But if you use like a scissor or something else that is like sturdy, you will create like big, nice, confident splashes. So I don't want any splatters on my flowers, so I make sure not to get them on my flowers. Van Elslander is definitely Dutch. Yeah, maybe even Scandinavian, because that could be possible as well. In Scandinavia, you also have a lot of names that begin with van, I think. Okay, so that is that. So now the thing is that I don't necessarily really like the strong bright colors. So I'm going to dry brush just a little bit of the page to make it a bit less new. And I still need to add some of my favorite texts. Just get one out there that really suits my page. Let me get some white gesso. And I need to have a dry brush. And I'm going to use a big brush this time. And I'm just going to slightly put down some of the white color just around the edges. Just to create a bit more of a, well, that is an created look or something, not as fabricated. So it's all about the finishing touches. You can really see the difference, like before I added the white paint and after I added the white paint. The white gesso really creates this like finished look, but also it also creates a more like whitewashed look, which is really nice. So now I'm just going to add a bit more of my crayons. Just to make sure we don't forget about these flowers. Maybe even use a black one. That's good as well. And these are the Neo colors by Caran d'Ache. And they actually are water soluble, but I also like to use them this way. And now I just only need to add a little text. Thanks, Mary. You guys are really, really awesome. I really appreciate this. It is just such a great gesture. I love it. Thanks, guys. And if you want to see a bit more from us, like I think everybody that's joining this hub tonight also owns like a Instagram page or YouTube obviously, but also maybe a Facebook page. So make sure to check those social media accounts as well, because that would be really cool. So mine is, okay, I'm going to use this one. So mine is CreativeCins, obviously. So I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. So if you want to follow me, please be my guest. I would love to see you there. And this one is actually, I've made this to use on another project, I guess. But I ended up not using it because it's still in here. But it's one of these texts. So be your own hero is really perfect for what we were talking about, like the whole feeling insecure, maybe vulnerable. So I think this is just perfect with this stream. It's meant to be that I didn't use it before. And I glued it on top of a piece of corrugated cardboard. So it looks like this. And I'm just going to add it. Get some glue on there. If I can still find my glue. I'm not sure where I put it. Oh, it's here. Just add some glue. And I did manage to even finish my stream almost on time. I'm really happy that I managed to do that. Yeah, it's going to be here. Oh, I need to get it a bit more to here because I want to cut around the edges. And that's the last thing that I'm going to do. Where is my cutting board? I'm just going to cut it. I'm not sure how big it needs to be, but I first get rid of the less pretty edges. Oh, I'm not sure where you guys go next. Oh no. Make sure to check out the description box. You'll see where to go. Let me cut this. I think it is perfect. Put my journal out there. I think it's too big. Yeah, it is. Let me cut. I'm just going to cut it because that's faster. I really can't cut like in straight line though. And it's perfect. Oh, the way it should. Except for one crooked side. Yeah. Got a lot of glue on there. And here it is. So it's the same, but also quite different from the other one. But it's like the same series. I really like that. So this is the finished piece, guys. I'm really, really thankful that you all joined us, me. And it was really fun to have you all here. And I really enjoyed all the conversation and talking to you guys. And I really think it's awesome that we feel so much alike with each other and we can really relate to each other. So thank you for that. Thanks for making me feel this good. And I love to see you subscribe to my channel, as well as subscribing to the channels from the other girls. A special thanks to everyone that used the whole super chat thingy. I really enjoyed that, and thank you so much for your support. And enjoy the rest of the hop, because it's really, really worth it. So thanks, guys. Hopping over to the next one. Let me see who is the next one. So that's Belinda Basson. And let me see if I can copy the link. I'm not sure. No, but you can get it from my description box. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your hop. Thanks for your support and have a lovely day. Thanks, guys. Bye.